stretch when the American League was kind of like slow pitch softball. Everybody was hitting home runs, and it's not like that. We've seen several good pitching staffs already. I know the Chicago White Sox were talking about the good pitching staffs they had seen. I know what the hitting coach was talking about, they ran into all these good pitchers. But one of the things that I talk to my players all the time about is the fact that if you can't beat good major league pitchers, you got no chance to win anything. And the league is full of good pitching right now. There's no question about it. We have seen some great pitchers. We have some outstanding pitchers on our own staff. But if you can't compete and beat good major league pitchers, you're not going anywhere. So the key is to just come and grind it out every single day, to battle it, figure out a way to beat them, pitch good against those great pitchers. That's one of the only chances you have. When you run into a dynamite pitcher, if you don't pitch good against them, you probably have no chance. We have the pitching that can do that. I like this team a lot. I like the personalities. I like the makeup of this team. We have wonderful, wonderful guys on this team. Trust me when I tell you that. But the league is very good, and it's a very freaky game. If you saw just what happened, we swept the Chicago White Sox over the weekend, which was a very nice sweep for us. The Chicago White Sox had just lost 3 out of 4 to Tampa Bay. They lost 3 straight to us. They had been swept prior to that 3 straight at home by the LA Angels. But the Chicago White Sox went into New York the last 2 nights and beat the New York Yankees. That's what makes this game so great. And that's why there's no gimmicks. You got to earn it. Everybody's going to be nipping at your heels the whole year long. That's just the way it is. Are we capable? Yes, we're very, very capable. I really believe that. One of the things you run into this year in springtime, we had a very good spring. I think we really got people pumped up. I know the weather was bad up here. I live in Pittsburgh, so I'm familiar with rough weather in the wintertime. But I think what happened was springtime, we had a very good spring. We came up and get off to a real good start. The fans get disappointed a little bit. They're looking forward to it so much because they've been through that tough winter. Now, the Tigers coming home means spring is coming eventually. At some point, it's going to get here. So I think everybody was pumped up, and they're probably a little disappointed the way we got started. Then all of a sudden, we get rolling a little bit, and everybody's pumped up because they think we're really going good. And then we lose to Seattle last night, and everybody's back. How can you lose to Seattle? That's just the way it goes. And one of the things I like to emphasize to my players is, we can't get wrapped up in the same things that you as fans get wrapped up with the media. We can't do that. We'll burn out. It just won't work. Because that emotional roller coaster is fine for the fans. We love it. I think it's all part of it. I think it's good. But I've read some of the writers already. We had the worst team in baseball. And the same writer 2 days later, after we won a couple, we got the best team in baseball. So we can't get hung up in that. It's just coming to the ballpark on a daily basis, giving the best effort that you have for the fans that paid with their hard-earned money to come see us, and try to give them a good show each and every day. We're not going to win every night. We can play hard every night. It doesn't cost anything to play hard. Absolutely nothing. It costs nothing to play hard. It costs nothing for your best effort. And we appreciate how hard you people work and how you spend your hard-earned money. Trust me. I don't know if we're going to win or not. I know we got a chance. I know the Minnesota Twins are going to be right there at the end. Cleveland, Kansas City is much better. The Chicago White Sox are going to be there. That's just the way it is. I believe the Detroit Tigers will be there. I do. I believe going into September we'll have a chance. And if we play good enough in September, we'll win. That's all a manager can ask for. To get September with a chance to do something. But it won't just happen. We're going to have to beat good teams. We're going to have to beat good pitchers. There's nothing strange about this. There's nothing, the way it works, there's nothing strange at all. You have to come out there on an everyday basis and grind it out. And the only way, in my opinion, that you beat good pitchers and good teams is to outcompete them. Because when I say we're good. But so are the White Sox. So are the Yankees. So are the Twins. So who wins? The team that brings it every day, competes hard every day, has a good time doing it, does not get wrapped up in all the fans and all the people that have all the answers. That's okay. That's the nature of the business. The writers, we know that. And one thing I talk to my players every year when I have my meeting going into spring training is, look, and I don't mean to slight you people, but what we have is in this room. Because the media has a story no matter what. Whether we do good or bad, they got a story. So what we have is in this room. And that's going to be what's important. That's going to separate whether we win or lose. If we stick together, we come on a daily basis, we give our best effort. You know what, at the end of the year when you look in the mirror, if you did that and you didn't win, I can live with that. I can assure you lack of effort will not be a problem here. We have a very good team. We have a tremendous, tremendous bunch of players, personalities, great guys. One of the better bunches that I've ever managed. I mean, personally, there's not one guy that I don't like. I mean that sincerely. Every once in a while, you're a good player, you just don't like him. It doesn't mean you don't play him, it doesn't mean you don't think he's good, he don't like you and you don't like him. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, in 30 years of managing, 31 counting, I can count on one hand the players I ever had that I just didn't like. But I think we like each other, we respect one another, and I think we're going to put on a pretty good show for you. Once again, thank you, all you do, for the city of Detroit. Thanks for your support of the Detroit Tigers, and come out and see us play. Thanks.
Okay, well, thanks very much for those remarks, guys. We're going to ask some questions now. There'll be some of the players and also some for both Dave Dombrowski and Jim Leyland. First question, our first player question is going to go to Victor Martinez. Maybe if we could get a microphone over to Victor. But in the meantime, the first question is for Dave Dombrowski. Question is, can we expect to see any prospects this summer, specifically some of the strong arms we have in the minor league system?
Well, we do have some good ones, but the reality is, even though you have some good ones, and you think that they're going to be good, I hope we don't have to see them, because that means you're performing well at the big league level with the guys that you have, and that also they're healthy. And we have a lot of good pitching and a lot of good positional players with their club right here. So all in all, you prefer to keep these guys here if you can.
Another one for you, Dave, while you're there. Over your career, what has changed in baseball and what has stayed the same?
Well, the game has turned into a much bigger business than when I first started. I think it's a long time ago, 1978. If you drew 1 million people at that time, a lot of people were happy to draw 1 million people. And in our front office, we had 25 full-time people. Nowadays, we have 4 times as many people. You probably have 100 full-time members. And if you're not drawing over 2 million people, and a lot of franchises are drawing 3 million people, you're in a position where you're falling behind. So the game has grown in a positive respect in that regard as far as interest. I think as far as what's stayed the same, really the game on the field is very similar. When you get into the game and you're starting with the first pitch of the game, you've got 9 innings and you're going out there playing the competition itself. Sometimes the players are, somebody will say somebody throws harder, somebody runs faster and all that, but the reality is once that game gets out there, you're trying to win the game any way you can. And those 9 innings are played basically the same way.
Great. Next couple of questions are for Jim Leyland. Would you consider your bullpen one of the strongest in the American League, if not the major leagues?
I would say it's too early to tell. I would say that the equipment is down there. Certainly they have a very, very effective bullpen. I would say that at the back end of our bullpen right now, we have 2 of the best in all of baseball. I don't think there's any question about that. And without being corny or being funny, I think we have a couple of youngsters in our bullpen right now. I think time will tell. Do we think the potential's there? Yes. Can you compare it yet to some of the more veteran bullpens? I think that would be unfair. That would be unfair to our players, and it would probably be ridiculous for me to try to do that at this time.
All right, Jim, another question for you. Are you in favor of expanding instant replay in baseball?
I am. I'm actually on a committee with the commissioner. I don't really get a lot to say, but that's okay. I am, and I'll explain the one that I want to expand. And you can think about it when you go home. And next year when I'm at the alumni luncheon, we'll can talk about it. I want to put in fair or foul. And the reason I say that is they have the home run is now a replay. You can go out, I cannot request a replay. I can go out and complain or say that it was a home run in my opinion. Sometimes the umpires say we will check the replay, sometimes they will not. I cannot request them to look at that. A lot of fans don't know that. They think when you go out you're asking them to look at the replay. I'm not allowed to do that by the rules. They have to make that decision.